Today in our 2013 GMC Sierra, we'll be installing the Airlift Vehicle Suspension System, part number AL57338. This will be the rear airbag setup for our vehicle. To begin our install, we'll first need to remove a few of the manufacturer's components, starting with the Jounce bumper. To remove the Jounce bumper, we'll just take a flat-bladed screwdriver, get in between the Jounce bumper cup and the Jounce bumper itself, and pry it out of the cup. Next, on both sides, we'll remove the bolt that secures the rear brake line to the back of the Jounce bump stop. Also here on the driver's side, we'll need to remove the bolt and bracket that secures the parking brake cable. We'll remove the bolt from the frame and then remove the bracket off the cable, as we will relocate it once we complete installing the airbag. Now I'll move over to the passenger side. We'll also need to remove the parking brake cable bracket that runs to the front of the Jounce stop bracket. Now with our hardware set aside, we're ready to go ahead and start assembling our new airbag suspension system. Starting with the airbag, we'll take the top and bottom cups and set them over the airbag ends and securing points. Then we'll take the right angle valve supplied with our install kit that you'll notice has pre-installed thread sealer and secure it into the top of the airbag. Once we have the angle valve in place, we can go ahead and install our top mount using the cap-headed screws provided with the install kit. Now we'll go ahead and turn our airbag over and install the lower bracket. With our suspension spread as much as possible between the axle and the frame, we're now ready to go ahead and put our airbag assembly into position, fitting the lower bracket over the Jounce stop bracket, and the upper bracket will go around the Jounce stop cup. Once we get into position, we can go ahead and use the two 3/8 fasteners to secure the lower bracket into place. These will simply pinch the lower bracket against the stop. We'll go ahead and take the U-bolt, put it over the frame and down through the upper bracket. There we'll secure it with a flat washers and nylon lock nut. Now I'll go ahead and repeat the same process for our other attachment point. Now with the upper bracket secured, we'll move to the lower bracket. We'll need to install the carriage bolts that'll go down through the lower bracket and secure the lower Bale clamp. To secure the carriage bolt and lower Bale clamp, we'll use a flat washer and nylon lock nut. Now that we've secured the lower bracket, we'll go ahead and reinstall the manufacturer's hardware, re-securing the brake line bracket. Note, the parking brake cable on the driver's side will then get zip tied to the upper bracket for the airbag suspension system. We'll cut off the excess from the zip tie to clean up our install look. Now, once we have both sides installed, we'll need to install the heat shield for the passenger side. The heat shield will be secured to the tailpipe using the two band clamps provided with the install kit. Then we'll go ahead and bend the tabs on the heat shield so that we can slide them under the clamps and then secure the clamps, securing the heat shield into position. Now with that done, we're ready to run the airline for the airbags. Note, we'll be using our tow-ready, no-drill mounting bracket, part number 18140, and drilling it out as needed to secure the airline fittings to the hitch. To secure the bracket to the hitch, we'll go ahead and turn the bracket vertically on the backside of the hitch and then secure it with the worm clamp. Now with the bracket secured, we'll go ahead and drill it out as per the instructions that'll be large enough to fit the airline inflation valve. Once it's drilled out, we'll go ahead and take the airline and start working from the bag towards the back of the vehicle where we'll mount the line. We'll take one end, feed it along the frame following the manufacturer's wiring, and then down to our bracket. Once we get to the bracket, we'll install the nut serrated washer and then put it through the bracket. Next, we'll install the rubber washer, flat washer, and then secure it with the final nut and tighten it down. Now we'll go back to the bag and the airline, run the airline to the 90-degree valve that we installed in the top of the airbag, make a mark in our line, and then go ahead and cut the line with our tubing cutter. Once we've cut our line to fit, we'll line it up with the orange section of the 90-degree valve, push it in firmly, and then give it a quick tug to seat it into position. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the passenger side. Next, with all our components installed, we'll go ahead and check our airlines for leaks. We'll install air into the airlines. We'll bring them up to approximately 50 psi. Then we'll go ahead and squirt each one of the airline connection points with some soapy water and check for a leak. Here's what our vehicle looks like at the manufacturer's suspension and vehicle height. Then we'll add 2,000 pounds, noticing how the rear end will begin to sag with the additional weight. Now with our airbag system installed, we'll go ahead and air up the airbags and reinstall the weight. As you can see, with our airbags installed, we will not lose the ride height that we did previously with our manufacturer's suspension system. With that, we're ready to hit the road, and that does it for the install of the Airlift Vehicle Suspension System, part number AL57338, in our 2013 GMC Sierra